Hearing God's voice. People say, oh, how can you hear God's voice? Is that biblical? Well, in the Word it says, my sheep hear my voice. And we also have heard many stories that God is pouring out His Spirit among the earth, and the Muslims are even hearing God's voice. And I think the most exciting thing, I remember hearing somebody stand on a platform in church, a mighty, mighty man of God, and say, this was a number of years ago, say, my goodness, I learned how to hear God's voice and my life has been transformed. And when I heard that, I thought to myself, well, if it's good enough for him, it's got to be good enough for me. And so I began to pursue hearing God's voice. And I teach this. I teach this, and I say, why do you think God wants you to hear His voice? And a lot of people, they say, well, so I can do the works of Jesus. But you know, I'll tell you something. You are the most important thing to Jesus. You're the most important thing to the Father. And the Holy Spirit is itching to reveal the Son who reveals the Father. And you know, primarily, the Father wants you to hear His voice so that you will receive the revelation of His love for you. It's like the first commandment. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all your mind, and all your soul. And the thing is the purpose is so that you will love the Father, that your motive will be love, and that you will get to know Him, because that's why He made you. He made you for relationship and communion with Him. And how can you possibly draw close to Him if you can't hear His voice? And I'm not saying that you can't, because there was, you know, a number of years that I couldn't hear His voice, and I loved Him. But you know what? I loved Him, but it wasn't anything compared to an interactive relationship. It didn't even come close to an interactive relationship. So, how do you hear God's voice? Well, you can hear it in pictures, you can hear it in smells, you can hear it in this quiet, still voice. You can hear it in an unction. You can see it in a rhema word in the Bible. You can be driving and God will highlight something to you and speak to your heart when you see something. God can use just about anything and to talk to you. And if you're open to it, if you believe.